Hi, my name is Mark de Rooij. I'm a Dutch photographer and educator, and today we're gonna do photo critics, and we're gonna do that in Instagram for photographs that use our hashtag rosterphoto. So if you want to follow me in Instagram, this is my account, Mark de Rooij Photography. As you can see, I like to shoot in cities, cityscape photography, but I also do a lot of landscape photography. So if you want to follow me, click the follow button and let's go to the photo critics. So as mentioned, I am looking in the rosterphoto hashtag where I'm gonna talk about different photographs. I pick some random photographs and I will tell something about the photo, what I like, what I don't like, what I think can be better. So when I look at this photograph, I really like the creative approach of this photograph. The depth of field is very little, as you can see. The seat of the bicycle is sharp, but this part is already unsharp, and also the background is unsharp. So I think for this photograph, the bokeh used looks very nice, and I think this is made with a very light sensitive lens. I like the bicycle in the foreground. What I don't like too much is the car over here. I think if you take this photo like 5 seconds later, the car won't be there, and especially this light is very bright. That grabs the attention, and of course in this case the bicycle is the main subject, so this is a little bit distracting in the photograph. Also this little part on the right side, I don't think I would include it in the photograph myself, so that's easy to solve. For this photograph you can crop the photo a little bit, and then I think you will lose this part, and you will end up with a better composition. Let's move to the next photograph. I also want to see this because I really like Austria, Vienna. Actually, I used to live there for 5 months, like 10-15 years ago. 10 years ago. Doesn't matter. I love the city, and it's amazing for photography. I like the composition, the statue in the foreground, the building in the background. It's a beautiful building. What I also like is your low angle, because of your low angle, the statue, the upper part is mainly with the sky in the background. So if you take this photograph from a higher point of view, the statue, the upper part of the statue and the building will have a bigger overlap, and then you don't see the statue so good anymore. So I really like the composition, really well done. I also like the warm lights here in the building, so you get a big color contrast. I think the photograph is a little bit too cold, too bluish. I like it in the sky, but I don't like it too much here in the building. It doesn't look very natural, and I don't know if you use post-processing. Maybe that's the case, and maybe it happened with a graduated filter, with a very cold temperature, so cold white balance. If you use, for example, Lightroom, it's very easy nowadays to exclude this part from your selection. So but well, once again, I think the rest of the photograph is great. So nice composition, and the warm lights here really work well. Let's scroll down and let's pick another photo. Let's pick this one. This is kind of the opposite. The previous photograph was very cold. This photograph is very warm. I think the warm feeling fits the photograph. It looks like this photo was taken during sunset, and well, with a nice sunset you will have nice warm tones. Interesting subjects. You have some part of the coast here. He has some islands over here. What I really like is that there's a separation between this part and this part, because there's a little bit of water in between. Suppose you take this photograph from a lower angle, you won't see this part of the water anymore, and then there's an overlap, and then it looks like it is one piece of land, and actually that is not the case, as you can see. I love the little boat here. Maybe for the balance in the photograph it would have been even better if the boat is a little bit more to the right, but I think it's still a very nice shot. If I look at the sky, there's a lot of sky, and the sky is nice because the color is great, but maybe I think if I would have taken this photograph, I think I will crop the photo. So I would leave out this part, the upper part of the sky. I think you keep the best part of the sky if you do that. This part of the sky I think is more beautiful than this part. So I think that will leave you with a better composition. Let's move on. This one looks also interesting. Very interesting. I like the composition here, the low angle, the rocks here in the foreground. The structure in the rocks is also beautiful. Also nice that in some of the parts is a little bit of water, and because of the light that lights up also. The sun is a little bit blown out with multiple exposure. If you take multiple exposures and you blend the sky in, or you use HDR, I think you can have a little bit more detail in this part of the sky. But apart from this, I really like how the light is here in the water, and once again I like the structures here in the rocks. Also this leading line works out really well. So composition is I think very nice. Great job. I like this one also. I like photographs like this. Probably the person even didn't notice that you took the photograph, but the person waiting here, he kind of looks similar, the shape, as the little icon in the traffic light. The person is very nice in the light. Very important for this photograph. If that was not the case, the person would have been much darker and probably wouldn't be separated from the background. So the light in this photograph is important. There is not so much color in this photograph. I think this photograph will work really well also in black and white. And if you try that, maybe you can also try to leave out the left part. So crop it a little bit, so like this, or make it like change the dimensions of the photograph, cut off the left part, so more attention goes to this part of the photograph. And I also think if you change it to black and white, if you add a vignette, so make the borders and the corners darker, I think that really helps this photograph also. But I really like the photo, the way the light is, so great job. Let's do one more. This one, completely different photograph. Also here, light is very important, and that especially if the subject is really dark, like this dark dog. If you don't have good light, you don't have so much detail, and now it's very nice to see all the details here in the skin. I like the light in this eye. This eye is a little bit dark. Maybe you can brighten it up a little bit in Lightroom. Very easy to do with a radial filter or with the pencil. It's easy to brighten up the shadows a little bit more. But I really like how the light is in this photograph, and yeah, I'm thinking what to do different in this photograph, but I think I will leave it like this. It's very nice, and yeah, once again, the light is very nice. So really, really good job. To finish it off, let's do one more. Which one should we pick? I like this one. This one grabs my attention. Ah, it was actually a featured photograph. I was already thinking I've seen this one before. I really like this photograph. I like the color contrast first of all. So first the blue, then the warm tones. That always works out really well. I like the rocks in the foreground. They are a bit dark, maybe a bit too dark. No, don't make this too bright. So maybe you can make them a little bit brighter, but not too much, because then it looks very unnatural. I like how the bridge is, the silhouette. There is not so much overlap with the things in the background. So suppose there will be a lot of buildings here behind the bridge, then the bridge won't be so visible, of course. But in this case, it's not the case. So the bridge is very nice, and the color contrast is also beautiful. I don't know with what kind of lens this photo was taken, but I think if you shoot this photo even a little bit more wider, I think it will help the photograph. So you can show a little bit more of the foreground. I think I would have pointed my camera maybe a little bit more down, so you have a little bit less of sky and a little bit more of rocks. And I don't know, of course, what kind of rocks or other things are in the foreground. Maybe there are a lot of distracting things, and that's the reason why the photo is like this. But suppose there are more rocks. I've never been to this location to shoot it, so I cannot really tell what's here. But suppose there are more rocks, I think you can even have more depth in your photo, because you have a little bit more a larger foreground with rocks. But very nice photograph. The technical side of this photograph also looks good, and once again the color contrast is beautiful. Alright, that was the last photo for this video. If you like those photo critics, let me know below the video, then I will make more of this type of videos. And yeah, soon we are back with a new video. If you want to learn something specific about photography or post-processing, let me know in the comments below this video. We try to absorb as much as possible from all your feedback, so we can serve you even better in the future. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.